Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the channel. We now have we are honored to have the wonderful psychic medium and mind prober, Liz Cross. Now, in many of her other videos, she explains what mind probing is. And she cannot show her identity because she has worked with law enforcement. And, it's just too dangerous to reveal her identity or location or anything. So, hello, Liz, and hello, Erik, who is my son in the afterlife. How are you doing?
Fantastic. He's having a good time up there. Did he play guitar? Because he's playing
Oh,
guitar now.
yeah. Yeah, he
Did he?
played guitar. Yeah.
I did not know that.
How
He's
about
he's
that?
been up there playing guitar. He's having a great time.
Yeah, he tried to teach me a few licks. It didn't work out too well. He also tried to teach me how to skateboard. It didn't work out too well. I think I did one ollie, but that's it. But it was like almost about to break my hip kind of movement.
Oh no.
All right, so we are going to do mind probes surrounding the case of the disappearance of 15-year-old autistic teenager Sebastian Rogers. I had not heard of that because I don't really watch the news much anymore. But anyway, let me just read some of this. The Tennessee teen was last seen the night and heard the night of February 25th in the Summer County home Katie and Chris Proudfoot in Henderson. I guess that's Nevada, right? Oh,
Hendersonville.
Tennessee. Blah, blah, blah.
Hendersonville, Tennessee.
Yeah, right. I don't know why I got Nevada. Maybe that's where he is then. Anyway, Sebastian is autistic, and his mother said she heard a thud from his room around 10 p.m., about an hour after he went to bed. She added that she called out for the teen to keep it down, who responded, and she told him to go to sleep. That was the last time she heard from the teen. All right, so here we go. Chris Proudfoot was in Memphis working on a construction site the night of his disappearance. He said he returned home February 26th after being notified that his son was missing. That's the stepfather. He said the teen's shoes were still at the front door. His Nintendo Switch was where the teen left it, and his phone was still in the kitchen. Um, Katie thinks that there's no evidence of foul play, apparently. But I'll tell you this: apparently, they talked, and maybe Sebastian overheard this. The Katie, the mother, and Chris Proudfoot, the stepfather, talking about him, saying something like, this is getting to be too much. Let me see if I find that. Um,
Yeah, apparently they were going to
oh
go
yeah,
send him to his biological father.
yeah. I said maybe he overheard this conversation between Chris and Katie, where Chris is saying he can't deal with it anymore. He's out. Whatever, that could have been an occasion for Sebastian to just leave. So, well, Erik, can you tell us if that is what happened? Did Sebastian leave of his own accord?
So Erik is saying that he knew they hated him. And not so much the mom, but definitely the stepdad.
Yeah.
Uh, he just always knew that. Did he know that they were planning to send him back to the Yes, he did know that. He was aware.
Let's mind probe the biological father, Seth Rogers. Um,
Okay.
you got his
So
contact in mind?
sorry, Elisa, I didn't mean to cut across you there. So here's the thing with the mind probes, just in case your audience is new and there's the first time they're coming into one of my mind probes. So mind probes are exactly what is going on at the time we shoot this video. Today is May 23rd, 2024, and it's roughly 9:30 in the morning Central Time. Okay, so I have the biological father here. What would you like to know?
Do you know where Sebastian is?
Do you know what? No, he has no idea.
Are you concerned?
Are you concerned? He's very concerned. In fact, as you asked that question, I felt my heart ache. So I was picking
Oh.
up on his heartache.
All right, can we mind probe anything else that you want to ask him, Liz or Erik? Mind probe wise, or do you want to move on to the mother or
Yeah,
the
let's move on to the mother.
all right, Katie Proudfoot.
Mm-hmm.
You got it?
Yes, ma'am, I do. What would you like to know?
Well, do you have any idea or inkling, suspicion about what happened to Sebastian?
Do you have any idea or any suspicion about what happened? No, she just said he's gone.
Do you care? Do you love Sebastian?
She's kind of over it.
Wow. Have you ever loved Sebastian?
Did you ever love Sebastian? Not really. And I hate to say that, right? But I have to report what I get.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like Sebastian was Sebastian an accident. I feel like Sebastian was a bit of an accident,
Were you?
an inconvenience,
Yeah.
a burden. And
Because
the
of
fact that this
yeah.
poor kid has, the fact that this poor kid has autism on top of that just makes it that much worse. It was a lot of hard work. She couldn't control him. He was very difficult to communicate with and very difficult to love.
Yeah. Wow. All right, let's go to unless you think we should ask anything else of her, we can move on to Chris.
Okay.
Okay. Chris Proudfoot, the stepdad. Do you have any idea what happened to Sebastian?
Ooh, do you have any idea what happened to Sebastian? He thinks he's run away. Okay. Why do you think he's run away? Because all the indications, all the signs, there's no foul play. What about the computer? Because this kid was on the computer 24/7, right? Let's ask this question. Did you have any controls on your servers, any child protection things on your servers on the computer? No. So this kid had unfettered access to whatever information he wanted on the internet. Did you know who he was talking to on the internet? No idea, right? I feel like this kid was pretty much just locked in his room playing video games. Not a lot of interaction. He'd come out to eat, come out to, for a brief moment, but it really was just like keeping him in his room. I just feel that so strongly. There was minimal interaction. He was an inconvenience.
Was he the target of any online sexual predators? Erik?
Is he the target of any online sexual predator? He had many sort of communications, Erik is telling me, with predators online. He was a very easy and very vulnerable target. Would he go on he would go on camera. So, they would take advantage of this kid. They would get him to perform sexual acts online. They obviously were recording it on the other end, and that went on the dark web.
Oh, wow. Okay, so did a predator say, hey, come to this address and, I'll take care of you, something like that? Could that have been what happened?
Did he ever give out his address? And he was very vulnerable. He would often give out too much information. Was that what happened in this case with the predator? No, I feel like this kid ran away.
Okay. All right, Erik. Oh, wait, do we have anything else to ask Chris? Chris, do you care about what happened to Sebastian?
No, and he just did that. That sort of hand motion, like,
oh yeah, like wash his hands
yeah.
up. Yeah.
Job done. He just did that, and I'm saying, why are you making that hand motion to me? He's gone. He's out of my life. Like, good riddance. He really didn't care about this kid. And he's very manipulative around the mother as well. I'm saying to her now, what do you think about your husband, Chris, and his reaction to Sebastian? And she's like, oh, I just don't pay him any mind, really. She's just trying to survive day to day. And she's just trying to make the marriage work. I feel like there's a lot of issues in the marriage. I feel like he gets right in her face. He can be extremely abusive as well. She walks on eggshells around this stepfather. She doesn't want to upset him in any way.
All right, let's see if we can mind probe Sebastian first. Erik, is he on this side or your side?
Erik feels as if he's on that side.
On what side?
on Eric's side.
Oh, all right. Can we try to mind probe? Can you mind probe somebody who is on the other side?
Well, mind probing is an earth plane thing,
Oh, okay.
channeling is on the other side.
All right.
I do have some information. I think I pretty much know what's happened to him. I'm sorry to leave a cliffhanger for your viewers.
Okay.
Um, I'm not going to say because I am sort of giving information at the moment to someone who is actively searching for this kid.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um,
So we can't divulge.
but no, but as far as like, does this person or have I gone into an in depth mind probe to help assist with this case? No, because there's no suspicion on the parents at all. They are completely absolved, right? There's no suspicion. They saw the police cameras, saw this boy, not the police cameras, but the police saw on camera this boy left the home, right? And there was no foul play. There was nothing to indicate that these parents were going to harm, this child.
No indication, but did he meet, was his death, and I actually know how he died because you already told me before we started recording, but did he meet with foul play of any sort, Erik?
I'm getting a no.
All right. So the death was not at the hands of another.
I'm getting a no on that.
Okay. Was he the victim of an accident?
No.
can't answer that. Okay. All right. Do you know where he's located, his body?
Oh, do we know where the body is located? It's in water.
Wow. What kind of body of water? Lake, river, ocean? In Tennessee, so.
Well, the area where he's missing from is surrounded by water.
Oh, okay. All right. Are those rivers or lakes? I don't know.
Lakes.
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 Okay. Are the, can we probe the collective law enforcement task force that is looking for him as a
Yeah,
collective?
absolutely. We can grab the police department. I feel like there's their FBI on this case. I feel like there is a special task force on this case. Is it TBI? Is it the
Okay.
Tennessee and Bureau? I feel like TBI is on this case. Is it FBI level? Not really FBI level. I feel like it's TBI level. So let's probe the police department. I'm going to grab them as an entity. Are you still working on the Sebastian Rogers case? Not so much. I feel like this has really been handed over to the TBI. So did you ever suspect any foul play from the parents? No. They're saying to me that the parents have been absolutely cooperative. However, I think there was a question that cropped up somewhere in our questions, which was why did this stepdad, Chris, why did he refuse to take a polygraph?
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. Why did you refuse to take a polygraph? Because it's none of their business, right?
Okay.
But what if they just structured the questions around Sebastian only? He says no, because they never do that. It'll end up being questions about where I was, what I was doing, who I'm seeing, am I having affairs, and all that, right? He
Yeah.
doesn't
Oh,
want that
yeah.
information to come out.
Okay. Is he in the Cumberland River? Cumberland River at all? Or is it
Yes, he's very close. Yes.
okay, in or close?
Mm. Well, I feel like the body has traveled.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So, trying to pinpoint it, that would need a lot of remote viewing
Oh,
sessions,
yeah.
drilling it
Right.
down, drilling it down,
Okay.
drilling it down. And even now it's continuing to flow.
Will they eventually try to search the waters for his body,
Will they ever find the body?
or will it just be found on shore one day, or
Will they ever find the body of Sebastian Rogers?
at this, quantum probability anyway?
No.
Yeah.
I don't feel that they will. No.
Poor little guy. Why did Chris and Katie move? Oh, so they said, well, you're moving, so you're covering up something. They probably
So
want to
have
get
they
away from
moved?
the memories, maybe. I don't know.
So have they moved from the house where he went missing from?
I think so. I heard that the mom and stepdad moved away from their home. Why did they move? What are they covering up? But did they move? I see on the news funny thing.
So it looks like somebody said they may have moved to Memphis. They've gone in their camper. Are they back? So let's ask, why did you leave your home when your child is missing? See, this Chris. This was his decision, not hers.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. She does what he tells her to do. She does not make any forceful opinions, thoughts, feelings, decisions. She just does what she's
Yeah.
told.
Jeez. Yes, Sebastian Rogers' parents confirmed leaving home amid son's search. Okay. All right. So why, Chris, why did you move?
Why did you move away or leave the home? He doesn't like all the suspicion. He doesn't like being followed. He doesn't like being watched. He doesn't like people he doesn't want to be even recognized, right? This has been all over the news. And he doesn't want to talk to people about it. He doesn't want people coming up to him saying, I'm really sorry about
Oh, yeah.
Sebastian, right? Just wants to move on from this and just be done with it. As in, this is the way it is, and
Yeah.
we're just moving on with our lives.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, is that because you were unable to show any remorse or show any like empathy or feelings or sadness? And he says that's exactly why, because he was being called out on that. He's telling me people were like, well, you don't seem upset, and they were getting too close to how he actually felt.
Yeah.
And of course, he's having to put on this facade that he's upset by this, kid missing.
Yeah.
And he says, I'm not upset. I wanted him away from us.
Chris, do you have suspicions that he's dead?
Do you think Sebastian's dead? No, he does not think Sebastian's dead.
What about you, Katie? Do you think he's dead?
Do you think Sebastian's dead? She says, I have a feeling that he is. Why do you have a feeling? She says there's something in their connection, their soul connection. She can just feel
Mother's intuition. Yeah. And how do you feel about that?
How do you feel about that? He's gone with God.
Okay.
She's a very sort of, just a simple girl.
Yeah, Tennessee girl. Yeah. I heard ain't come out when you were mindful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's her. She's never had any sort of emotional or mental strength. I just don't feel that from her. She's just one of those meek and mild sort of characters that, she just walks in the shadows of everybody else. She doesn't stand out, and she doesn't like all the scrutiny. It's almost like members of the public were going up going, cry, damn it, cry, things like that. And I'm saying, but did you cry? She says, yes, I did cry for several days. And then I just felt a sense of relief because he was, and I'm saying, what was so difficult about this child? Like, what was it? She said he was just too time consuming. I'm like, but did you actually actively work with him and care for him? No, she washed her hands of him years ago. Like he was kind of a lost cause. She didn't know how to deal with him.
What
Couldn't deal with the autism.
Did he have temper tantrums? Did he have physical battles with you? Anything or what? What was the difficulty?
No, he didn't really have temper tantrums. Did he have battles with you? He was a hardcore gamer, she's telling me. And you couldn't take those games away from him.
Oh.
But did you attempt to take him away? No, because it basically was a babysitter.
Oh, electronic babysitter.
But there was no real like relationship, like mother-child relationship there. You know how like you have relationships with your children, I have relationships with my children, you know, you spend time with them, you get to know them, you talk with them, you
Play
guide
games.
them.
Yeah.
There was none of that. There was none of that. It was like,
He's
here's
better off. All right, last question I want to ask, and maybe you want to add more, Liz, I don't know, or Erik, but I want to know, was this a spiritual contract? Probably yes.
ooh, let's take a look at their past lives. Let's take a
Yeah.
look at Katie and Sebastian's past life. Okay, so I'm going to go in and oh,
Oh boy.
okay. So immediately as I go in and connect with the past life, she has this baby. Again, the baby's unwanted. This is going back how many years? About 200 to 300 years ago. She had this baby out of wedlock, and she put this baby in the water. She threw this baby in the water. She could not tell anyone about the baby. She can't handle having children.
Was it Sebastian?
Yes, it was Sebastian.
And
And
he's in the water again.
he's in the water again. So let's see, what is the lesson to be learned here? The lesson is about rejection. Okay. The inability to, she can barely care for herself in that lifetime. And I feel in this lifetime as well, she can barely care for herself. I feel like she has a lot of damage. You know, trauma can cause a lot of brain damage and damage to those brain connections, right?
Oh,
So she has a lot of trauma in this lifetime and she can barely function. She's barely keeping it together.
does
And
she have a
even
low IQ? Was she born with a low IQ?
Erik says yes. She really doesn't have, you know, again, there wasn't a lot of interaction between her family and her,
Yeah.
you know, that guidance, that education. They were all just trying to survive. And even in that past life, you know, I don't see her as very educated. I see her as like, oh my God, I have a baby. Now what am I going to do? People will be ashamed of me. Let me ask her this question in this lifetime as a mind probe question. Were you ashamed of Sebastian? Yes, she was very ashamed that she
Oh,
did
yeah.
not have a normal baby.
Oh,
Okay. That was very, she would try to hide him and she would try to cover that up instead
a
of
good question.
celebrating who he really was. It wasn't like that. She was really trying to hide that she had this, you know, baby that was very different at the time than from other normal, you know, and what's normal anyway. But
Yeah.
you know, she did not
Neurotypical.
celebrate his, you know, life and his character and his personality. She was really quite embarrassed by it.
What was his
So,
personality like?
what was his personality? He was just very quiet, subdued. He didn't really interact much. I'm getting that very strongly. Like he just kept himself to himself. He was difficult to speak with. He did not trust others. He did not trust that anybody would like him. Was he bullied? And yes, he had experienced bullying. He wasn't currently being bullied at the time of his disappearance, but going back into his childhood, yeah, he didn't like school. I feel like he had friends, but those friends were at that
Fast.
point very safe.
Yeah.
It took a while for him to form that safety net of friends.
Yeah.
But going back into that past life, this is all about, you know, the ability to love another human being. And this is about rejection. And he feels very much to me like this lost soul, like he's trying to find a sense of belonging, but nobody wants him. And that seems to be his pattern, his repeat pattern in many, many lifetimes. They'll repeat this again, by the way.
Oh God. Erik, maybe you can help him, but you can't interfere with one's spiritual path, I suppose. But is there any lesson for the collective, like maybe about autism awareness or anything?
There is, that was a good question, because Eric's saying yes, of course, because even though somebody may have mild differences, and I don't think he was even severely autistic, right? That
Yep.
Eric's telling me that it was, it's mild by comparison of a lot of cases.
Yeah.
He did have the food thing, the texture, the touch, and things like that. He had that, but he pretty much just focused. And was he able to basically read facial signals or expressions? No, but he had the innate ability intuitively. He knew that he was rejected on many levels.
Did you suffer from depression?
Big time, big time. Because those brain connections were not there. When you were born, and you hold the baby, you rock the baby, you sing
Love.
to the baby, you love the baby, welcome to the world, and mothers are up all day and night, and we're just like, pouring that love into the baby. That was not Sebastian's experience. It was, now what do I do? Right.
And that's so
And
important for neural connections.
hmm,
Love is.
so those neural connections are, when they're sort of devoid in a lot of areas, they don't have those feel good, I love you, you're wonderful, you're special, you're important. Those sorts of things can always trump levels of depression, but those sorts of things were not there. He was a bit, he had this fear of abandonment, this fear of rejection, and she definitely did not instill that within her children. She also has another child, and as I'm tuning into this other child who is
Wow.
older, she also suffers from depression, similar to her mother, walks on eggshells, just stays out of the way.
Does this sibling feel like he's dead?
Ooh,
Did she care for him or?
did you ever look after your your brother? I mean, she just really like kind of sees him as, a misunderstood person. I'm getting that very strongly. Just very misunderstood. Um, just really didn't know what to do. Very similar to the mom, kind of,
Yeah. Right.
a
Right.
little bit low IQ, and
Okay.
just, yeah.
Mm. All right. Well, I guess we could stop there unless you have anything else to add, Liz or Eric or any of these entities or consciousnesses.
I just wish that Sebastian's soul, because as I tap into his soul, wherever he is, I just wish he could gravitate towards a family, a soul family, a new soul family
Yes.
that really would be able to show him that love and respect and gratitude for his existence that he deserves to have. So hopefully I'm sending that message over to Sebastian's soul that it's time to find a new soul family. This is not
Okay.
working. This will never be resolved. You're too dependent upon your mother, who, in this lifetime is incapable, can't extend her love outside of herself to you. It's time to find a new soul family and move on. And you don't have to keep experiencing this massive level of rejection.
I mean, look, she can't even love herself. So you need to find a mother, a soul family that the mother has a lot of self-love so that, she's capable of loving others. So Eric, maybe you can assist in this connecting to a new soul family too.
You know what he just said? We'll adopt him, Mom.
Okay. All right. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you. And Liz, the name of your YouTube channel where you have so many mind probes is what?
Oh, Psychic Liz Cross. Come over there.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of
Fascinating.
what you're going to find out, because I mind probe all day long. It's one of my strongest tools in my box. And
That's awesome.
I love it. I love being able to share information with other people so that they can learn, they can grow. You know, this life is like a minefield. We've got to, you know, try to figure it all out and empower ourselves with knowledge. So yeah, we got Mind Pro, we got a lot going on over there. So please do come check us out, and we got great stuff going on. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for doing this for us. And so that information about her is going to be in the description box, and we'll put it on the screen as well, people. All right, be sure you hit the subscription button, please, because we're trying to get to 100,000. Hit subscribe. All right, thank you, everyone. Bye. Love you. Love you, Erik.
Thank you. Love you guys too. And your audience is great. So thanks for having me.
Thank you for being with us. Bye.